Hello, people, and we got some good news amidst all this pump. Maybe we will keep pumping some more, but let's actually look over the news. Grayscale has filed for a multi-coin ETF. So, some of their multi-coin funds, they're trying to convert into an ETF, and that could be good things for a lot of coins because it's not like one separate ETF for each separate coin, which no one's interested in, but maybe someone is interested in an index. So they asked the SEC for permission to convert its $524 million fund tracking multiple cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ether, and Solana, into an ETF. So all these coins might actually have investors, and they might have to buy all of these coins if people buy this ETF. Obviously, this is not going to be as big as their solo Bitcoin ETF, probably not even as big as their Ethereum ETF, but still substantial news. So crypto asset manager Grayscale has filed with the United States SEC to convert its $520 million fund that tracks multiple cryptocurrencies into an exchange-traded fund or ETF. The New York Stock Exchange, on Grayscale's behalf, requested the conversion in an October 14th, 19B4 filing, a form that asked the SEC to alter rules to allow listing of a new ETF. So they're hitting the SEC one after another with these ETFs, probably hoping that the SEC kind of changes hands. But even if they don't, probably like making the court rule against the SEC and getting all these ETFs in there. So this is kind of with their large cap fund, and it manages just over 524 million in assets and is weighted with 76% allocation to Bitcoin, followed by 18% Ether, and the remainder is split between Solana, which occupies most of the rest, XRP, and Avalanche. So in an accompanying 8K form, Grayscale notified its investors that the fund reflects the rule and listing changes proposed by NYSE. A conversion to a spot ETF allows investors to more easily buy and sell shares in a fund. So yeah, like Grayscale will actually need to buy actual Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and AVAX in those proportions to actually support this ETF. So customers buying this ETF will have a stake in all of those coins. So Grayscale's latest filing comes following two major conversions earlier this year, with the SEC approving the company's request to convert its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and Grayscale Ethereum Trust. So basically, it's on the heels of the Bitcoin Trust and the Ethereum Trust, and they're trying to ride this for all it's worth. I hope this works. I think this will open up the way to other ETFs. And on that note, Canary filed an S1 for a Litecoin ETF. And this is a solo Litecoin ETF. That's right. So the Litecoin ETF, I don't know how many people are going to be interested in this because I think Litecoin's more of like a dying project, more or less. But Litecoin did actually pump up some today because of the ETF news. And, that's good for Litecoin. I guess any amount of good news for Litecoin is good. But the thing is, I don't think this will actually save Litecoin. And I think there's going to be limited interest in this ETF. So only days earlier, after Canary filed the XRP ETF, they filed a Litecoin ETF. I think the Litecoin one is probably more likely to get through than the XRP one, especially if Gary Gensler retains SEC chair, because they're still fighting the lawsuit with XRP and they don't have a lawsuit with Litecoin. And Litecoin, I think, is grouped in with Bitcoin as one of the proof of work coins. So they just might be considered those not securities anyways. The filing is the latest in a proliferation of proposed ETFs holding an alternative cryptocurrency ahead of the U.S. presidential election in November. Canary's proposed ETF aims to hold spot Litecoin and closely track the performance of CoinDesk Litecoin Price Index, according to the filings. Litecoin is a decentralized peer-to-peer digital currency, often pegged as a faster, lower-cost alternative to Bitcoin for small payments. So yes, Canary is trying to file all sorts of ETFs, seeing what they get passed, but I do think the Litecoin one is probably more likely than the other ones to actually get passed. So Google wants to have this technology for nuclear mining, and it could actually change the game. And it's basically the advent of small modular reactors, and this could actually produce the, clean energy they crave for mining Bitcoin. It could be a big revolution. So a new paradigm for the production of nuclear energy could change the calculus for both artificial intelligence, because AI requires a lot of energy as well, and cryptocurrency mining, but it requires substantial upfront investment in relatively untested technologies. The US will soon develop and deploy its first commercial small modulator reactor. An SMR is a nuclear power source with a much smaller infrastructure footprint than traditional fission reactor plants. These so-called next-generation reactors are also purported to be much safer, which means a nuclear bomb won't go off if something actually happens. But they might actually still produce nuclear waste, and I'm not really sure how people are going to deal with that nuclear waste. While small reactors have been around at least since the 1950s, the advent of SMRs could serve as a game changer for large organizations such as AI training, data centers, and cryptocurrency mining facilities. Obviously, all these facilities take up massive amounts of energy, and having a way to deal with that obviously changes the game a lot. Unlike traditional reactors, SMRs can be manufactured in a factory and then shipped to a client's location. Functionally, these platforms can be set up to produce as much as 300 megawatts of energy and could feasibly be built almost anywhere. But being a nuclear reactor, and because we haven't figured out fusion power, these things do actually provide nuclear waste, which once again, we don't quite know how to deal with. We'll work on it, but it's just not really quite there yet. But this could provide a lot of power. By the way, nuclear power, even with the nuclear waste, is still much cleaner than like burning gas, burning coal. You just have to figure out where to store the waste. Whereas, like obviously like the products of burning gas, burning coal gets lifted in the atmosphere, and there's really not too much we can do about that. So yeah, nuclear powered crypto reactors may be coming your way. Trump's coin's debut was a dud. First of all, the website crashed. And that's not good. It did debut earlier today. Yesterday by the time this video publishes. Trump's World Liberty financial website crashes during token sale. The site has been down for several hours. The DeFi project, prominently supported by Donald Trump and his sons are the officers in this project, began its token sale Tuesday morning. By the way, I actually do think this is just a grift, but it appears that overwhelming traffic has crashed the site. The on-sale WLFI token will not be tradable and will act as the governance token for the soon-to-launch Ethereum decentralized protocol. People have been signing up for whitelist spots throughout September, which was only available to accredited investors in the U.S., along with any investors from outside the United States. According to Etherscan, there are currently just over 3,500 token holders, despite over 100,000 people being allowed listed according to the team. I don't think everyone that's whitelisted actually wants to buy the token. Due to the site crashing, this number is moving up incredibly slowly for one of the most hyped project launches of the year. The total supply of WLFI is 100 billion tokens on Ethereum, with only 35 billion tokens on sale this time around. So there was actually some interest in the platform, but the site did actually crash, and the launch was kind of a dud, unfortunately. So they had just over $9 million in sales throughout multiple website crashes, and they expected to raise about $300 million of the fundraising target. And yes, they are calling this a fundraiser because I think you're basically donating money to him for his campaign, because I do think that's what they're kind of going to spend it on, and he's probably obviously going to pocket some of the money as well. So basically, U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump took to the social media platform X to tout World Liberty Financial, a new crypto project promoted by his family, after initial sales of the platform's new WLFI tokens fell well short of the target, probably in part because of the website crashing and not being able to come back up. He needs to really work on the technical aspect of this stuff. Trump's post came late in U.S. day on Tuesday, several hours after the tokens were initially made available. Some $9 million of the tokens were sold as press time, some 3% of the total tokens allocated to the public sale. And obviously he tweeted today is the date. It's going to serve as a governance token. It's not sellable right now, and I really wouldn't buy it. Like I said, I think it's just mainly a grift for campaign funds at this point, and I think a lot of people actually do see that. I doubt everyone that got whitelisted will actually buy the tokens, but overall, the sales are a huge dud right now. Some frightening news is that Tesla has shifted $770 million to a Bitcoin to unknown wallets. Remember, Tesla did buy a huge amount of Bitcoin a couple of years ago. They sold most of it at a loss in 2022, so not everything that Elon Musk touched is actually gold. They sold about 75% of their stack, and the remaining 770 million has not been touched since June of 2022, I believe. But now they've moved it to several unknown wallets, and this could actually be the precursor of Elon Musk selling the coins, which would be bad. Now, it's about 11,500 Bitcoins. Now, that would probably stunt Bitcoin's comeback and probably push it below 65K again. At least for a couple of days. After those days, I do believe that it will basically come back up more or less, and this will all be over with. But the shifting of $770 million or 11,500 Bitcoins right now to unknown wallets is a cause for concern, especially for traders or leverage traders. Because if you're betting on bullish market and you're leveraging high leverage and Elon Musk dumps, he could screw you and put you into the poorhouse. So please be mindful that he could actually sell within the next couple of days. Some analysts are predicting that he's going to sell. I'm not exactly sure. A movement into unknown wallets doesn't necessarily mean that the person that's moving is going to sell, but that is one of the reasons. I don't think he actually moved it to exchanges though, so a sale might not be imminent, but you do need to pay attention. And of course, Ripple has announced its RLUSD partners. Those are the stablecoin partners, and they're obviously trying to get into the stablecoin business, in my opinion. They're trying to replace XRP with RLUSD for cross-border transfers, and this is the kind of like the start to do that. So at the Miami Ripple Swell 2024 conference, Ripple revealed new exchange partners and market makers for RLUSD, its impending dollar peg stablecoin. Former FDIC Chair Sheila Bair and former Century Consortium CEO David Puth are appointed to the RLUSD advisory board. Ripple's president said the stablecoin was operationally ready and are waiting for regulatory approval from the NYDFS. And of course, exchanges and market makers help Ripple launch RLUSD. So the RLUSD will actually need exchanges to actually adopt it, and they have multiple of them, and they include Bitstamp, which is a big European one, Bitso, Bullish, CoinMina, MoonPay, Uphold, and Independent Reserve. They also partner with B2C2 and KeyRock as market makers to facilitate the creation of liquidity and adoption across global markets. It's interesting that they didn't actually list any US exchanges like Coinbase or Kraken, because if you remember, Ripple actually had to switch to Tether for all their cross-border transactions with the United States because, of the complications of using XRP for ODL. So they're using Tether for ODL right now for transactions with USD. So I'm really surprised they didn't actually announce Coinbase or Kraken as part of the partnerships. Maybe it's coming and they're just waiting. These partnerships aim to offer RLUSD to institutions and users worldwide on trusted exchanges. Initially, the stablecoin will be launched on the XRP ledger and the Ethereum network. So I don't know what exactly percentage is going to be launched on each one. I think most of it might actually be just launched on Ethereum to facilitate real-time transactions and convert between fiat and digital currencies. Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, says the company seeks to make RLUSD a gold standard stablecoin for enterprise use cases. Garlinghouse added that customers need stablecoins to settle cross-border payments, asset tokenization, and decentralized finance. See, he even said it. Garlinghouse added that customers need stablecoins to settle cross-border payments. So yes, this is going to replace XRP in the ODL arena. So yeah, if you're investing in XRP, probably not a great investment based on that. And of course, this does represent a broader strategy to link traditional financial markets with blockchain technology. However, the firm's payment network also covers more than 90 markets, having processed more than 37 million transactions totaling $70 billion to date. So that is the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.